All right, new this morning, a story NewsNation first brought to you in 2021. Attorneys representing Hertz customers plan to file at least 100 new claims against the rental car company, accusing them of improperly reporting vehicles as stolen, leading to wrongful arrests of drivers. And at least 230 cases have already been filed so far. Joining me right now, attorney Jacki Phelps. Thank you for being with us. Wrongful or not, these arrests could be very, very disturbing, traumatic for some people. Plaintiffs saying police arrested them at gunpoint in some cases. Others were in jail. What is the company saying is happening here?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Full disclaimer, I do not represent plaintiffs or obviously Hertz, but what the company said is that, most, if not all, of the arrests are not false. And the problem with that is, we have a criminal justice system that is based on the old premise that it's better that 10 guilty people go free than one innocent person is punished. And so my take on that is it's not okay to say, well, most, if not all of these are true arrests, are truly stolen vehicles, because we have a collateral consequence here that the company is seeming to not be looking at and not be realizing. And that is, as you mentioned, people have been imprisoned, some for months, and have lost their homes. They've lost their jobs. The societal consequence is huge. Especially if you think about for people of color, as you mentioned, people have been pulled over at gunpoint, some of them with children in the vehicle, and a child, the social trauma that happens, not just to the adult, the parent involved, but to the children involved, is almost immeasurable. And so just the claim that most, if not all, of these are legitimate claims of stolen vehicles just rings hollow when you look at the societal consequence that happens when even one person is wrongly detained, falsely arrested, and has that stigma hanging over them.
Yeah, and there are a couple of categories here, right? There's the Hertz system that was messed up, maybe broken, and then there's people not turning their paperwork in correctly, which would, again, indicate to a company, you took my car and you're not bringing it back. But just last month, Hertz admitted its recording system has been a major issue in this. The company's CEO, who just took over in February, saying there have been updates to its practices to fix the problem. But what can be done so that this doesn't happen ever again?
Well, the thing is I think there's a twofold issue here. One, it's a little bit disturbing to me that Hertz was aware that this was a problem in the first place. I just, in sort of looking, there are claims of these types of what they're called a conversion by theft is the legal term, going back as far as I can see, at least to 2008, if not more. The claims that are currently, I think, extend, I believe, back to 2014. And so this has been a problem. And, one thing that I've noticed, just as an example, is when you or I were to rent a car or whatever the case may be, they put a hold on our credit card. And some of the issues have been if the card is close to its limit or it won't go through, then instead of taking steps to try to rectify that on the card's end, they just immediately report the car is stolen, which is bizarre when you think about the number of steps that could be and should be taken before that final step is taken.
Right. It sounds like to me other rental car companies are paying close attention. I know when I was younger and was late in turning in my car, or something happened where I was going to extend my rental and didn't have a chance to contact the company yet. The companies are very adamant. They want their car back, and they will tell you multiple times to make sure they do get it. Jacki Phelps, thanks for being with us. We appreciate your time. I know there are millions of dollars in damages here that these prior customers are looking to get. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.